I just ate some of the best ice cream, and guess what? No ice cream maker needed. This is a no-churn espresso ice cream with chocolate brownie bits, chocolate sauce. I think you're gonna fall in love just like I did. Let's make it. For a no-churn ice cream, you want it to be the right consistency, so scoopable, soft, luscious, but also rich and creamy. And you also want a lot of flavor. Since we are making an espresso coffee ice cream, you wanna make sure that espresso really comes through. We have sweetened condensed milk, we have heavy cream, and both of those strong, heavy flavors need to make sure that they can pick up the espresso. So that's why to me it's really important to start with good espresso. Now I'm gonna make espresso right here, and guess what? I've never known anything about espresso or making it at home. So thankfully, the wonderful people that I know at Seattle Coffee Gear hooked me up with the Diletta Mio. And what I like about it is I know nothing about making espresso at home, but they gave me the note that I can easily grind the beans, super easy, and it's kind of a no-brainer. The thing with good espresso is making sure you pack it in really well. So you have a tamper, you put the beans in, and you give it that pressure and turn it as you're pressing to make sure your grounds that are in there have the right pressure, so then it makes a really good espresso. Now, what I like about this Diletta, I have to admit, I've always been scared of machines, but this one always gives me the temperature right above, so I can know when it is ready, and it's perfectly ready. What's even better is you can have your cups on top if you want just a cup on a cool fall day, which yes, fall is coming. Don't hate me for saying that. But once we get the grounds in there, I'm gonna make a double because I have the double hopper right in this. You can do a single or a double. We want that espresso flavor to really come through the ice cream. So once it's warmed up, it's always ready to go. I can just let it drip through. I watch the seconds that are counting up so I know when to turn off for my double, but look at that beautiful crema and espresso that is coming out. This just smells and looks beautiful. So here's my double shot. Now, of course, you can do 2 singles if you want to make a double shot. It's just that double shot gives it that really good espresso flavor. And that's coming from a good machine that makes good espresso. So that's what's great about the Diletta Mio. Now, what I like about it is it's always ready in that you can watch the temperature, you can watch the pressure gauge even to know you're gonna have the right pull on it. And yeah, it's good. I could just drink it, but we're gonna use it in this, and that's what's great about it. So here we have all the components for a no-churn ice cream. No-churn really is kind of a no-brainer, meaning that you don't need a special machine. And I haven't done a recipe really on my site for it before because I feel like so many of the recipes have been made out there. And I want it to be really good. So I thought this would be a great one to actually pull in some great strong flavors that make this a little bit special. So a no-churn needs to have a base to start with, and that's gonna be the sweetened condensed milk. Now, what is sweetened condensed milk? It is literally just milk and sugar. That's all it is, condensed down into this nice thick consistency. So since we're not gonna churn this in an ice cream maker, you need to have something that's gonna give the right texture. That's what this base does. Then we will whip cream and we'll put it all together. So to start, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put in our espresso. It's right here. Now it's still a little warm, but that will actually temper out and kind of thin out that condensed milk. But then we're also gonna put in some vanilla extract. Now, vanilla extract is really important here actually. Not only does it give you the vanilla flavor you want, but vanilla actually also brings out more of those espresso notes and then the chocolate notes we're gonna add later on with chocolate sauce, with brownies. That's all gonna be pulled out, and vanilla has the ability to pull all those out. You need just a little pinch of salt, and it's gonna balance out all the sweetness here. You have some of those bitter notes from the espresso, but then you have a lot of sweetness coming in from the condensed milk, and you want that all to be balanced out, and that is what salt does. So I'm whisking this together until I can get the espresso and that condensed milk and the vanilla to all become one. And guys, instantly, as I'm doing this, if you were here, it's like a magical thing that happens with the vanilla and the espresso. It really lends together into just a delicious smelling concoction here. Once this is all whisked together, which we can see here, I'm gonna set this aside, and now we'll start whipping the whipped cream. So you wanna start with really cold whipped cream. Keep it cold. We're gonna put it right in here. This is the magic of no-churn ice cream. It's really no magic at all. You whip the whipped cream, and that's what creates the consistency and the texture for an ice cream. Sometimes you want these to actually stay in the mixer, and sometimes you don't push them in far enough. You know what? I put them in the wrong holes. That happens, guys. So we're gonna put them in the right holes so it doesn't fall out. So now we're gonna start whipping, and we're gonna do it slow at first, turn it up to high until it's stiff. So you want it to be stiff peaks, which means stiff enough that it holds pretty much a peak. which you can't do with these beaters, but you can see that it's really holding. See those peaks I'm making in there and how it holds? That's exactly what you want. You want it to hold a shape and be stiff enough because it needs to be that consistency to freeze correctly once it's mixed together. So when we're going to mix, the one difference in this no-churn is that you can see this base is a little bit thinner than sometimes because that espresso thinned it out. So it's not quite the same, but what we're gonna do is take a little bit of this cream. We're gonna plop it right in there just to start getting it kind of worked into it. It lightens this ever so slightly. See, it's already becoming a little bit more thick and milky. And now we add in the rest and then we'll keep mixing. So now we're gonna put in the rest of this whipped cream. And this is where you wanna be a little bit more gentle and make sure you get it all out. But I'm gonna use the whisk. You don't wanna whisk it hard, but what I'm gonna do is use the tines of my whisk. You can see I'm kind of just folding it together and it falls through those tines. So as you stir, you're slowly bringing those together. This is also, not that you should, but if you wanted to drink something, this would be a delicious drink right now. It kind of reminds me of those mid-century punches that used to be around where you'd melt ice cream and you'd create like a punch, especially at wedding anniversaries, weddings, things like that. So you can see now it's becoming thicker and that's exactly what you want. Now, before we get ready to freeze, usually you would have to churn an ice cream, chill it down. You don't have to do this with this. We go directly from this to the freezer, let it firm up. But I wanna add in. So this is a espresso ice cream, but it's not like super strong. It has just a nice light espresso, light coffee flavor. And I wanna just have a couple mix-ins that, to me, complement that. And that is some good fudgy brownie chunks. Now, this is my homemade fudgy brownie recipe. You can find it on my website. What I love about it is, if you think, oh, box mixes are the only way to go with brownies, I think this could change your mind. It's super simple. And the flavor you're gonna get from these brownies, it's good. It's decadent, it's fudgy, and it's just really a good brownie. And I'm just making them in somewhat big pieces, maybe bite-size-ish, bite-size for people that like brownie. And then you can cut though whatever size you want. You can see this recipe is a really nice consistency of fudginess. And I'm cutting them just sort of size that, you know, you can mix into an ice cream if you want to. And that's really whatever you want. What I have here are loaf pans. You don't have to do it in a loaf pan, but ice cream freezes quicker if it's a little bit shallower and flatter. That's what we have here. So what we're gonna do is start by layering in some ice cream. And you can see, this is a very different ice cream than others, and that's because of that whipped cream. So what I'm gonna do is layer in, and if you're doing a different size pan, that's fine. You can do it all in the same size, it doesn't matter. But what I wanna do is, once that's in there, is put in some of the brownie pieces. Oh, look at that. Yeah, see, if this doesn't hit you, you may not be an ice cream lover like I am, or a brownie lover, or really anything. I have a little bit of chocolate sauce. Again, I'm using a homemade one I do, but use whichever one you like. We're just gonna put a little drizzle in there. Look at that. And then we're gonna top it off with, again, a second layer and kind of get it to the top somewhat here. And on this next one, what we're gonna do, kind of smooth it out a little bit here. But this is, again, I'm gonna top it off with more chocolate pieces and chocolate sauce. So then we can just repeat this exact thing with the other one. And again, if you're gonna do it in one big container, that's fine. It's whatever works for you. You don't have to do it like this, it's whatever works. So I'm gonna put now chocolate sauce on top of this. And then both of these, when they're done, will go into a freezer, and it can take anywhere from, 4 to 6 hours until it's frozen hard. And at that point, it's ready to serve. So here it is, frozen in all of its glory. You can see it actually pretty much looks exactly the same. So the magic, it's not even really magic, but look at that. No-churn ice cream just has that beautiful ability to just be scoopable. And I think that's what everyone loves about it, is how easy it is. Look at that. It's like ice cream without churning. I'm a sucker for any type of ice cream, especially churned ones. But for no-churn, it has to have a lot of flavor and it has to be a good consistency. And guess what? This fits the bill. What I love is you get espresso, but then you get the chocolate, the vanilla rounds it all out, the flavor all together. I didn't get a brownie bit, and I just feel like, to really be fair to everyone, myself included, that's the magic. Really, what brings all this together is that good espresso in it. The espresso really rounds out and has a strong forward flavor, but not bitter or anything. It just has a great, clean, light espresso flavor that works and marries really well. So if you're going to make ice cream and you feel like there's always been a barrier to do it because you don't have an ice cream maker, you think it's a lot of work, this is the one for you. Literally, no churn, no cook. All you have to do is mix it together and freeze it. The add-ins just are the icing on top, really. It's gilding the lily here. And it really works well. It has great flavor, it has great texture. Summer's not over yet, and this is here to prove it. No specialty ice cream maker needed. That's what's great about it. You can just enjoy it and do it. So check my website, wiseguy.com, for this recipe and all my recipes, also in the video description of the videos. Share this around because yes, it helps me, but it helps everyone else see this is super doable. Anybody, and I mean anybody, can make ice cream, and anybody can enjoy delicious espresso at home. The two together, there's nothing better. So share it around, make some, enjoy, that's the point.